I didn't want to finish my degree. I had no idea what I wanted to do with myself. I entered the transfer portal, and 30 seconds later I get a call from Coach Smith-Peters about coming to Mizzou.
Whether they saw him as a player in the past or whether they saw he could be a player in the future.
And I thought that was something that we needed on the court.
They immediately loved him day one.
I feel like I've learned more this year than I have any of my 5 years of college. I was a three-sport athlete in high school, and pretty much my freshman and sophomore years, I'd always work out after football games because I didn't play on varsity, and I would always try to go up 2 or 3 times a week during football season to go work out in the gym.
Caleb's dad and I were multi-sport athletes and benefited from that. And as parents, we really encouraged our kids to play as many sports as possible.
Obviously during basketball we had practice every day and get shots up every day after practice. And then once it hit the spring, we were kind of at a mix of track practice and then AAU basketball. So you'd probably fit in about 4 days of basketball in that stretch.
Never encouraged Caleb or other two boys to specialize in one sport. We believe there's so many benefits to being a multi-sport athlete. Some of Caleb's best friends were his football teammates.
I think you learn how to compete when you're a multi-sport athlete. When you just stick to your sport the whole time, most people who play in college, I would say they're better than the competition they play against. But for me, when I was doing track and football, I wasn't the best on the field or on the track.
The crossover between sports is important. The physicality of football carries over into basketball. I think the ability to throw a ball with one hand carries over.
I would say my mom and my dad really like to be busy. And when they're not busy, it honestly drives them crazy. So us just being involved in multiple sports, I think, helped them having something to do pretty much throughout the whole year. I didn't want to finish my degree. I had no idea what I wanted to do with myself. I entered the transfer portal, and 30 seconds later I get a call from Coach Smith-Peters about coming to Mizzou. And at first I was just I didn't really know, because I was still at that state of mind I don't know what I want to do.
What we liked most about the opportunity for Caleb at Missouri was the vision that Coach Gates and his staff had for Caleb, whether they saw him as a player in the past or whether they saw he could be a player in the future.
I just thought he was a young man with unbelievable experience at the Big 12 level. He's played in some tremendous games, some tremendous rivalries, and I thought that was something that we needed on the court with him, and that was part of our recruiting.
And what they saw in him and how he saw himself and what kind of player he could become, we all knew this would be the very best option for Caleb moving forward.
But more importantly, he's provided that as a young man who has a high basketball IQ, very competitive by nature.
I thought this would be the best place for me, and I decided to come to Mizzou for my final year, and it's been the biggest blessing that I've ever got in my life. I came here very unconfident, no confidence in myself at all, and quickly I feel like I've changed that around. Even at the beginning of the season when I was playing, I still really had no confidence in myself.
And we really missed him on the court in his last half of the year, especially with that injury that kept nagging him, and he couldn't really continue and get back.
Most rewarding part we have seen for Caleb being at Mizzou thus far is the care and concern that Coach Gates not only have for him as a player, but as a person. They immediately loved him day one.
We just want to thank Coach Gates and everybody on staff. Thank you so much for making us feel welcome and part of the program.
Getting an outside perspective, sitting down and getting to learn from the coaches and their perspective, and just being able to watch and observe, I feel like I've learned more this year than I have any of my 5 years of college. And that's something that I didn't plan on doing, but it's a big blessing that I got to.